blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These children of ours are again one of the great bounties and ni'mats of Allah ta'ala. The children have been entrusted to us by Allah ta'ala, and as parents, it is our obligation and responsibility to make sure that we nurture them and we give them that right upbringing so that they continue the traditions of practicing Islam that have been passed down from generation to generation from the time of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in. They continue through generations to this date, preserving this honorable deen and passing it on. And we have received it, and it is now our obligation to make sure that with strength and conviction we pass it on to our generation, whom will inshallah then pass it on further to their generation. When it comes to this responsibility of nurturing the children, sometimes we are prone to our weaknesses, and due to that we neglect great responsibilities, and thus the deen slowly gets diluted and we lose track of a lot of important aspects of this religion. So it's very important that mainly our parents, they understand the importance of this aspect. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Ala kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi yawm al-qiyamah." Everyone amongst you is a shepherd and a responsible person for his flock. And you will be mas'ul, accounted for. You will be asked on the day of Qiyamah with regards to your flock. And every individual's flock varies in different ways. For parents, their children are a flock and they are under them. For a person who is a teacher, those students are part of their flock. For a person who is responsible, let's say on a government post, all the public that reside under his responsibility are his flock. So everybody in different ways have a different flock, and the person is responsible for their well-being, and they will have to account for them on the day of Qiyamah. The nurturing of the children begins at a very early stage. From the time the child is in the womb of the mother, responsibilities begin. And what we do, what actions are taken or not taken, all impact or start impacting on the child. Many a times you have heard that the first madrasa or the place of learning for a child is the womb of the mother. So spirituality and nurturing and teaching all begin at a very early stage. This nurturing of a child is by experts spread into 3 categories of 7 years. So the first 7 years from birth to when the child is of 7 years of age, then from 7 years of age till when the child is about 14, and then 14 to 21. 3 stages of 7 years each of nurturing the child in a special way. The first 7 years of the child's age is where the child is considered a naqil, a copier. The child is a blank sheet of paper, and any image drawn on the child will leave its impact and imprint for a long time. The child will remember those teachings and those aspects, and the child is a naqil, it copies. The child copies things. So if good things are seen by the child will copy those good things. If bad things are seen by the child will copy those bad things. If the child, even a 3-year-old child, sees that the parents and people older in the household, the peers, etc., are reciting the Quran or they are praying Salah, that impacts on the child's mind, and you will see a child putting a normal cloth down or even a plastic sheet down and copying the actions of the parent. The child is a naqil, the child is copying. And this period is till 7 years, where without much understanding and intellect, the child copies. And that is a very important phase, a lot with regards to the mother, but also to many aspects involving the father. So this is that first phase of nurturing, where you leave a lasting imprint on the child. And if in this, many a times, in each of the stages, we feel that the child is still small, let him enjoy life. We don't need to be nagging parents, and we don't need to be constantly behind them all the time, and we don't need to bite their ear out. Let them do what they want. That is neglectful. That approach is defeating your responsibility as a parent. While not being nagging, the role of the parent with wisdom and kind approach, with affection, compassion, and nice, soft-mannered approach, all aspects of deen can be taught and passed on and shown to the child. So one needs to understand this responsibility, that from the time the child is in the womb till the child is of 7 years of age, the imprint and the spirituality that the child will take will be the foundation for later years. Make sure that imprint is good, and we have time for that child, for our own children, our own flesh and blood. We need time. We are sometimes dragged by our material needs to such a way that we forget that we even have children at home. And the nurturing is far-fetched. We don't even see them in 24 hours. That is wrong. We are first and foremost, as Muslims, responsible for these duties and these blessings that Allah Ta'ala has given us. The need to earn, the need to fulfill our worldly needs, all, again, virtuous actions that need to be done and praised in the ahadith to provide for the family, all important, but the family needs to be nurtured before you provide for them. وَأَنذِرْ أَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ. The need to give ta'aleem and da'wah to your closest ones is more important and demanding and a major obligation before we worry about those beyond them. So, this importance at this very important phase of a child's life is an obligation that cannot be taken lightly, and all parents and those nurturing them need to step up. If we look at another narration of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and important aspects in the book of fiqh also, that a child needs to learn to read 5 times a day by the age of 7. How do you instill this concept in the mind of a child? Through our own practice. If we are not reading 5 times a day, how will a child whose mind is only watching and taking things in, and the intellect and understanding is not so far developed, if he or she is not seeing this action in the house where Salah is being read 5 times, how will that child pick this habit up? So the development of a child in the first 7 years is important, as the child sees and copies. That is an important part of nurturing. The second portion starts from 7 to 14. Again, very key, very, very important. And this is a time where the nurturing enters a phase that needs to be strongly controlled. The words used by the people in this field, that this is a time where the child has to submit to the will of the elders, because it is a time when the mind wants everything that the mind thinks is good and desires, the mind would want, and the child can easily stray in the wrong direction in these years. From the age of 7 to 14, they say the elders need to keep a child like he is their slave, meaning total submission to all the requirements of the parents in a wise way. But because the child is naive, not yet reach the age of responsibility, if wrong habits, wrong friends, wrong tarbiyah, wrong nurturing, wrong operation, they will have lasting impacts for the remainder of the child's life. So in every aspect, this age from 7 to 14 is a very, very important age for the child. And the parents need to be totally aware of what is happening in the mindset of the child, and the parents need to nurture and fix that. Parents and teachers of that particular child all play a role at this age in nurturing the understanding of that child and pointing him towards the right direction. If we look at academia also, the child at that age of completion of 14 will be heading towards the phase of life where he will be choosing a career path. And that is when many a times schools and everybody, even the people in the house, will want to understand what options are you taking for your GCSEs, what exams will you take. This will pave the way for what you become in life. and pointing it in the right direction for the parent is very, very important. And that is why I mentioned the hadith of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because this phase is where the major impact happens, that ar-rajulu ala dini khalili, that a person is on the religion and the thought process of his close, near and dear ones, his friends. فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحَدُكُمْ مَنْ يُخَالِلُ, that you must look at who you are befriending and who is in your sahbah and who is in your companionship, who is impacting and leaving a footprint on you. This is the time where bad habits are picked up. This is a time where a person is pointed in either the right direction and the person sees good for the rest of the life, or the person is taken by the peers and those that surround him towards a very wrong path, and he goes into a direction where it is very, very hard to come back from. So, my respected parents, it's important that this phase, that 7 to 14, of nurturing the child in a strong way, where you are observant. We do not neglect what's happening behind closed doors. We live in a world which is very fast now, my respected parents. So this responsibility is more so now than ever before, where the nurturing aspect is important. It is very good to see that the madrasa system is developing here, where 5 days the child is coming, and a big but here, 2 hours out of 24 hours is not going to make the mindset of the child. The environment at home is very important. And this is where the role of both parents come in, to reinforce the messages that they pick up from madrasa. Sit down with the child and see what they have learned in the akhlaq books, what they have learned from the ahadith, what they have learned from the seerah of our beloved Messenger alayhi salawat wa taslim, and reinforce those messages at home. If we have only a material approach, where we are only looking at what they need to wear, what they need to eat, what they need to drink, and giving them a roof over their heads, and we neglect this spiritual need of theirs, we will be the people scratching our heads beyond that age of 14. So 7 to 14, you nurture them in a strong, commanding way that helps them understand that this is the direction of life I need to take, and they do not forget that before anything else, their identity is that of an Islamic faith and responsibility. Their obligations after 14, there should be no question about their Islamic identity. It should be instilled in them through the madrasa system and through the enforcement of the parents. That is very, very important. If you do not give it then it's too late. So a key aspect of nurturing is from the age of 7 to 14. If the mold is not molded properly, the defect will be permanent. So my respected parents, please ensure that we understand our responsibility towards our children. We will live this life, and at some stage we will depart from this world. If we have left behind a progeny, that is pious and steadfast on their beliefs, they will be a sadaqah jariyah for us. Because Nabi sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam says, out of the three things that they provide continuous reward for a parent is waladun salih yad'ula, a pious child that will continue to make dua for you and continue to supplicate for you, continue to pray for you. If we have taught only material needs to our children, that this is your academic requirement, you need to make sure you excel in your grammar school results, and this is what you need to do. You need to be a best doctor, you need to be a best so and so. And we never give them the nurturing and the environment needed at home. Their mindset will be material based. They won't have any spirituality in them. They won't understand the obligations of a child towards a parent in old age and the responsibility of a child after the passing of a parent. So, for that, we need to be role models at home also. We need to change the direction we spend our life also. If we are not praying 5 times, how do you hope or want to advocate this message to the child? If we are not fasting in Ramadan and the child is not seeing us partaking in iftar and in suhoor, and the child is not seeing us taking time out at home and reciting the Quran Kareem, how do we expect the child to pick up these traits and pass them on to the next generation? The role of parenthood is greater and more than just providing the necessities of life. Parenthood is much more than that. And parenthood is a trust, a responsibility, an account. Mas'ulun anhu yawm al-qiyamah. We will be asked with regards to that on the day of Qiyamah. So the first 7 years of a child is where you imprint on the mind of the child who the child is. 7 years to give him or her the aspect of understanding and for them to copy things. Then a further 7 years of nurturing, in which we control the child properly. My respected brothers and sisters, the times we live in, the things we have from easy access to the whole world, good and bad, are things we need to monitor. We can't be, and let the child have his independence and let him decide or let her decide what they want to do. You will be pushing that child away. They won't even know you as a parent later on. Please try and understand this responsibility and connect with the running and learning of the child in the madrasa system for you to be able to reinforce everything that the child is picking up and give them a good environment. Once they are beyond 14, the next 7 years, according to experts, is the time of life where you befriend the child. So it works in opposite way for us. We will be befriending and playing with the child in the initial part of his life, and then we want to be strict when it's too late. So the first 14 years, the child, oh, he's small, he's still a child, let him do what he wants. And then suddenly we want to control, oh, you can't do, this is wrong, you can't do that. The child is not in a mood to listen anymore. And the constant conflict starts. So it's very, very important that we get the priorities right. The first 14 years are more important than after that. If the first 14 years are done properly, then the child needs to be befriended after the 14 years. And once you have befriended that child and given him that right foundation, the child is yours, inshallah. So it's very important that we work hand in hand with the teachings of the madrasa system in these years, and we provide a role model atmosphere at home so the child gets the right upbringing. And we as parents see them as the coolness of our eyes in our later life, inshallah ta'ala. With these few words, I leave you. May Allah ta'ala give us the right guidance and the mindset to do the correct nurturing of our children and fulfill this great obligation that Allah ta'ala has entrusted us with. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. MashaAllah, a lot of advice, important advice which parents, all of us need to take back home and ponder over and inshallah bring into practice as well. Again, parenting is not easy. We're faced with a lot of issues, a lot of problems with kids. There's more outside influence than we have. So we have to try our best and do everything within our power, ability to remove these influences, inshallah, and give them a good Islamic upbringing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept Mufti Zakaria and his speech, and may give us all the ability to practice upon the advices of Mufti Zakaria. Ameen ya Rabb. We're going to, inshallah, now is the exciting part for the sisters. They will announce downstairs themselves, and for the brothers, obviously, you're going to hear the results over here, inshallah. Just before that, if I can kindly ask the teachers, inshallah, to come forward. So, Ustad Hafiz Idris, come forward, please. Ustad Murad, come forward, inshallah. Ustad Mustafa, Ustad Abu Bakr, Hafiz Tariq, come. So, I know the teachers, they're standing at the back, but they should be standing right at the front because they deserve it. MashaAllah, it's not been easy for them to come and commit Monday to Friday, every single day, 5:30 to 7:30, and teach the children. It could be a handful at times, sometimes very stressful. And each one of these teachers, they're occupied. They're either full-time studying, or they're full-time working with their family, with children. Okay, so they're working full-time, they have a family, they have children, but every single day, Monday to Friday, they still make an effort to come in and teach. And we hardly have any of the teachers missing days. Hardly. They have full-time occupation, they have they have families, and despite that they come to teach. This is a great blessing. And we have to acknowledge their efforts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant each and every one of our teachers immense reward in this world and in the hereafter. Grant them immense barakah in all aspects of their lives. Fulfill all their lawful desires in this world. And we all know that when it comes to service of deen, the reward lies only by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our teachers. Ustad Muhammad as well, mashallah, for class 10, he teaches as well. The older boys, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our efforts. One more thing I wanted to mention, that these are the teachers, mashallah, they are the main part of the madrasa. I mean, without them, the madrasa won't run. Similarly, we have an education committee. Akil Bhai is here, come forward, inshallah. Okay, Akil Bhai, we have Shafiq, we have Farhan, and also Abu Bakr Bhai, who's a teacher, he's also part of the education committee. The reason why I'm mentioning this is behind the scenes, a lot of things happen. Okay? For example, all the exam results had to be inputted into the system manually, one by one, 100 students, 7 subjects, all had to be inputted manually, and that's Shafiq Bhai done that. Shafiq is one of the trustees over here. He stayed awake, till 2-3 a.m. every single night this week to do this, to make this possible. He's not here, he had to travel. but no one's going to know about this. Everyone's going to hear first position, second position, but the person who spent, hours inputting this data, no one's going to acknowledge his effort. Similarly, Akil Bhai, mashallah, he just, he went, whenever we need something, I say, Akil Bhai, we need to sort out food for the kids. We have a feast. He'll sort it out. When I say we need some food, we need some sweets for the kids, we're going to give some sweets out, inshallah, when the kids finish right now, he'll run off and get some sweets. All these things, it makes the madrasa. It's not just the syllabus, it's not just the parents, the students, the teachers. There's a lot of behind the scene effort that takes place, and which makes it easy for us to have these kind of activities. So may Allah accept the efforts of everyone here. So just get straight to the prize giving part of it, inshallah. We'll start with class 6. Put your hands up if you're in class 6, Ustad Mustafa's class. Okay, let's see. Ustad, first we'll start off with second place in the exam. Who came second? It was Aris Merman. Aris, come forward, mashallah. You've done very well. Aris, mashallah. No clapping. Just say mashallah. Mashallah, okay? Mashallah. Okay, give to Mufti. Take it off Mufti Zakaria.
MashaAllah.
Shake hands first.
Very good.
Barakallah. He's got, show everyone what you have. You've got some laser control car, mashallah. Okay? Okay, go sit down. Takbir, Allahu Akbar. Listen, kids, listen. By clapping your hands, what happens? Nothing. You just make some noise. It doesn't benefit the child or anyone here. If you say mashallah, you say Allahu Akbar, you're doing dhikr. You're praising Allah. There's benefit. Clapping your hands doesn't do anything. Okay? Class 6, Ustad Mustafa's class. Okay? First place goes to Isa Ahmed Ashraf. Isa, come forward. He's got a telescope, mashallah. He can now see the moon, even in Aberdeen. Where's Isa? Is his father here? The father can come up and collect it. Yeah, the father can collect it. Mashallah, takbir. Allah Akbar. Give it to Mustafa.
Barakallah.
Mashallah. Okay. With first and second place, we are also giving out the best behaved student a prize. So somebody from the children, I need the children to concentrate and listen to me. Okay? So those children who might not have excelled in their exams, but they are very well behaved. Throughout the year, they work hard, they listen to the teacher, they have a very positive attitude when it comes to learning. So we're also gifting them a prize. So for class 6, Ustad Mustafa's class, best behavior goes to Muhammad Saoud. MashaAllah, Muhammad Saoud. Come. He gets a water gun. Give salam to Mufti's. Give salam with your right hand. MashaAllah, takbir. Ustad Mustafa. Inshallah. Put up something. Okay, none of the elders can take the toys away from them, okay? Right? Okay, class 7, Ustad Abu Bakr's class. Ustad Abu Bakr's class. Put your hands up. Let's see where Ustad Abu Bakr. Who's excited to know? Yeah? Okay, put your hands down. Put your hands down, inshallah. Okay. 1 second. From Ustad Mustafa's class, I wanted to also mention, anyone who received, over 90% in the examinations, just as an acknowledgement. They might not have come first or second, but they've excelled and they've done very well. That they have, overall, they have overall achieved 90%. Okay, so. Tahseen Rahman, stand up. Tahseen Rahman, where's Tahseen? MashaAllah, Tahseen, you done very well, MashaAllah. You can sit back down. Also Aiden Ahmed, MashaAllah, he achieved more than 90%. Okay, MashaAllah. We won't give gifts, but the parents should give gifts, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, class 7. Ustad Abu Bakr's class, second place goes to Ayub Muhammad, come forward. MashaAllah. No clapping, no clapping. Say MashaAllah. Give salam to Mufti Zakaria first and then take it off him, okay? MashaAllah, massive Lego set. Okay, Ustad Abu Bakr's class 7. First place goes to Warith, but he's not here. Warith's father is here. Come forward, mashallah. So parents are getting so many gifts, mashallah, today. Warith, he did do his exam. His grandmother fell unwell, so his mother had to go to Dubai, but he done all of his exams online. It was supervised and he done all of his exams, mashallah. He'll be very happy. Ustad Abu Bakr's class, the best behaved, again, there might be many best behaved students, and to be fair, all of our students are well behaved, okay? But we had to choose one. So Ustad Abu Bakr, class, the best behaved student, we have a prize for him. It goes to Muhammad Wali. Muhammad Wali, come forward. Muhammad Wali. Yeah, but they don't need it. They can just. Yeah? Is it because of this one? Do you think it's because of this? I think so, possibly, yeah. So that I would need this one. Okay, mashallah, we're moving ahead. So we've done class 6.
You need to mute downstairs speakers so then they're fine.
How do you do that? Just one. Let's just wait for them. Just give a couple of minutes. We're going to finish now, inshallah, anyway. We're just going to isolate the basement for the sisters, inshallah. Hafiz Hamad is bringing back memories, inshallah, yeah? Just do it without it. We've turned it off. Try it now. Try it now. It's working, yeah? Yeah, just say it out loud. It's fine. You don't need it. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, we're continuing, inshallah. Class 7, another 2 more students achieved 90%. Nu'man, stand up if you're here, Nu'man. MashaAllah. Takbir, Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah. Zaid, MashaAllah, also achieved above 90%. Okay. Still on. Where's Wakil? Wakil fine? I've got a loud voice anyway, so it's fine. Leave it. Leave it. Okay, can everyone listen to me, please? I have to shout now. Okay, class 8, Ustad Murad's class. Put your hands up. Let's see Ustad Murad's class. Okay, mashallah. Second place goes to Umar Tur. Umar. No clapping, say mashallah. Umar, stand up. Come. Yes, salam to Mufti sir. MashaAllah. Well done, MashaAllah. Let's it. Okay. First place goes to Sa'im Manzoor. Class A, Ustad Murad's class. First place goes to Sa'im Manzoor. MashaAllah. Well done. Okay, kids, everyone, listen up, inshallah. We want to know who the best behaved child is from Ustad Murad's class. The best behaved student in Ustad Murad's class is Abdul Rafi. MashaAllah. Come forward, Abdul Rafi. Ustad, what do you have for him? Can you salam to Mufti Zakaria sir and take your prize? MashaAllah. Well done. Okay, from Ustad Murad's class, we have one more student who achieved above 90%, and that was Muhammad Ra'id. Muhammad Ra'id, stand up. MashaAllah. Well done, Muhammad. Okay, class 9, put your hands up. Ustad Idris class, put your hands up. Okay, this class only has 4 students, so we're going to give 2 prizes out. Okay, otherwise everyone will receive a prize. Okay. So the best behaved student from that class is Hamza. Hamza, come forward. MashaAllah. Look what he's received. It's an alarm clock. Okay, children, concentrate. Ustad Idris, Hafiz Idris class. First place goes to Abdul Hadi. It's a drone, mashallah. Yes, mashallah, yeah. Okay, class 10, Ustad Muhammad's class. Second place goes to Yahya Khan. It's a Lacoste watch. It's a watch, mashallah, Lacoste watch. Yahya, come. MashaAllah, well done. Class 10. First place goes to Ustad Muhammad. No, I'm joking, okay? First place goes to Muhammad Mia. It's a really good drone as well, mashallah. It's a drone. Just don't use it to spy on people, okay? Okay, everyone listen up. Class 10 is the oldest class we have for the boys, mashallah. And you know, all class 10, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Okay? For quite a few boys in class 10, mashallah. So Ustad, you know, decided that Muhammad Mia, although he's come first in his exams, he also deserved the best behaved reward as well, mashallah. So come forward, inshallah, and take your reward. Sorry. Okay, this is one of the most important parts of the madrasa. One of the most important classes in our madrasa is the Hifz class, Tahfidul Quran class. Okay? The Hifz class, boys, put your hands up. Okay? MashaAllah, they all work very hard to memorize the Quran. Okay? They start from Juz Amma, and then they move to the 29th Juz, and then they start from Surah Baqarah, and they memorize the Quran letter to letter, word to word, and they finish the whole Quran like this. MashaAllah, we started this year, and they are progressing very well. Okay? So we have two categories in Hifz class. One category, the first category was those who were tested on 5 ajza, 5 juz. The second category were those who were tested on Juz Amma and Juz Tabarak, the 29th juz. Okay? So from the first category from Juz Amma and 29th juz, we have Ubay. Ubay Muhammad has come first. MashaAllah. It's AirPods. It's Quran AirPods. So he can listen to the Quran, inshallah, and memorize from it as well, inshallah. From the second category, those who are tested on 5 ajza, first place goes to Muhammad Isa. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. It's a Quran cube, mashallah, so you can use it and listen to the Quran as well at home. Okay. If I can have everyone's attention, inshallah, all the kids, if everyone can, inshallah, concentrate, the ustads can also direct them. We're going to finish now. Just a few advices from myself. Number one, madrasa has ended today, and we will reopen on 16th of August. 16th of August, okay? We follow the school term time, okay? The New Year's syllabus and classes, what class your child will be in, etc., it will be emailed over to all the parents. It will be emailed over to each parent. Thirdly, for the boys, on 3rd of July, we have a football tournament and a barbecue as well, okay? If you want to register for this, all your parents have been emailed, okay? They have the poster. If you want to register, please do so, okay? You only have 5 days or so left, okay, to email and register. We want all the kids to participate in this. For all the parents, including those who have come first, second, or best behaved, your reports, okay, in the reports you'll have comments from teachers that on things that they need to improve on, work on. The teacher has put a comment, and you'll receive all your exam results by email either tonight or by end of weekend, inshallah. It's all ready, okay? So either tonight, tomorrow, or by latest by Sunday, all the parents will receive their reports, inshallah. I advise all the parents, sit down with your child, go over this report, okay? If they've done good and it's positive report, then sit with your child and go over that If there's negative or something that they need to work on and improve, sit with your child and make a plan on how you can improve on these things, inshallah. And it is very possible that your child might have come first, but he has only achieved 80% or 70%. This has happened. So explain to him that he needs to achieve more than 90%. This is something commendable. This is what he needs to achieve. Okay? So sit down and go over this, inshallah. In the holidays, I encourage all the parents, bring them to the masjid. The masjid is enclosed, madrasa is. When there's salah, bring your children with you for salah. In Jumu'ah, when there's weekend programs, come with your children, okay? So that they don't think that madrasa is only term time. Being a Muslim, studying Quran, learning Quran is only, a madrasa thing. It's not part and parcel of our life. Bring them to madrasa bring them to the masjid when you come, inshallah. Sit with them to recite Quran, okay? Reciting Quran is not limited to madrasa. You do this at home as well. They learn to recite Quran Monday to Friday, every single day, but in the holidays, in the weekends, they stop reading Quran. This shouldn't be the case, inshallah. So read Quran with your children at home. That's it from myself. We're going to have a short concluding dua by Mufti Zakaria, inshallah. A short concluding dua. After the dua, inshallah, I encourage the parents to take their children with them, inshallah. And on the way out, the children will be given some sweets, inshallah, as a parting gift from the madrasa. Jazakumullah khairan to all the parents for attending and to all the children for listening attentively. Come on, lift your hands and make dua, everybody. Ustads.
اللهم لك الحمد حمدا دائما مع دوامك ولك الحمد حمدا خالدا مع خلودك لك الحمد حتى ترضى ولك الحمد إذا رضيت اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك اللهم لك الحمد كله ولك الشكر كله وإليك يرجع الأمر كله علانيته وسره يا حي يا قيوم يا حنان يا منان يا مبدئ يا معيد يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا من له العزة التي لا ترام يا الله يا رحمن ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين ربنا نسألك علما نافعا ربنا نسألك علما نافعا نسألك علما نافعا اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا ربنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من غضبك وسخطك والنار اللهم ربنا نسألك الخير كله ونعوذ بك من الشر كله نعوذ بك من الفتن ما ظهر منها وما بطن نسألك من خير ما سألك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه عبدك ونبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ربنا وتقبل دعاء بفضل سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله.
Jazakumullah khairan.